Yes, today, welcome to my channel, Lady Mars. Subscribe and click that button. Today I'm with my colleague, I can say my sister, but today I'm here at CAHESH. She's the one to tell me more about CAHESH. What is it all about? Just introduce yourself, my sister.
Thank you, Martha. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy! I'm so happy today. You know, I met a lot of women who are leading a lot of institutions. The banks. I wasn't bank today at National Bank early morning, but I met someone, a woman, a strong young, we can say a strong young woman, although she is in her 40s, I think so. But I was so inspired, and just meeting you today at CAHESH, I'm so like, oh my God, 2021 women are going to be more powerful. You know that?
Very powerful.
Yes.
Yes. And what I believe is already women are very strong. They just need that kind of support that comes from elsewhere or corners to make them even feel more strong.
What's the story today? What are we going to talk about, Lucy?
Yes. Today joining you, Lady Matt, on your channel. My name is ZIKOMO. I work with CAHESH as a project manager. CAHESH in full is Campaign for Health, Education, Sanitation and Hygiene.
Wow! Campaign
for health, education, sanitation and hygiene.
It's all about women.
It's all about women.
Because we cannot talk about hygiene mostly
without a woman. So a woman is in the picture. A woman is everywhere. And this is not just a woman. We're talking about a woman with special needs, a woman with disability.
That's so unique.
A woman who is vulnerable, a woman who is marginalized.
Just subscribe that channel.
Subscribe to the channel.
Telling you it's more about sensitization, and mine particularly is about disability, and I'm so interested. Hygiene to spatial, the vulnerables. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, so one thing that people forget is that a person with disability is just as good as a person without disabilities. So whatever challenges that a person without disabilities is challenged with is the same challenge that a person with disabilities is also challenged with.
But you can see, you know, a person without disability, you can say a young woman or a girl without disability and a young girl with disability. Do you think that the same challenges, are they the same or they differ somehow? Their needs can be different in terms of the hygiene. If we talk about, you know, the monthly periods, and if we talk about maybe the simple hygiene that we need to, as girls, we need to make up our face, we need to do our hair. You know, if you see a girl with visual impairment and a girl without visual impairment, can this be the same, that they can really take care of their hair, their face, their makeup, you know, how they can clean their clothes, and on their monthly periods they can even clean their in what you can talk more about it.
So you know, the saying that goes all over the world, everywhere, where people underline to say disability is not inability.
Wow. So listen to that. Disability is not inability.
So even the cases where we think a person who's got a problem with vision, the problem is just vision.
Okay,
I'll tell you the problem is not vision.
Let me just cut you. If a person has a visual impairment, does it mean that's a problem?
No, that's not a problem. Because if this person has been educated, has been given the right information, has been told what to do, it's just as good as anyone else.
So mindful viewers, please take that keyword. Please, wherever you are you in Zambia, are you in Zimbabwe, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, take that key. Disability is not inability. Yes, tell us more about your projects as CAHESH, and what are you doing, and mostly what did you do yesterday, and what are you going to do in the coming weeks for the march? Because as we already launched the International Women's Day yesterday, we believe that we will have a lot of activities.
So as CAHESH, Campaign for Health, Education, Sanitation and Hygiene, what we basically do is to empower girls and women through so many other activities that we can do. We can talk about economic empowerment, we can talk about life skills empowerment, we can talk about education empowerment, what have you. And yesterday as Earth march marking International Women's Day. In this case, maybe we're going to be talking about a Women's Day because we're talking about a national.
Yeah.
Our greatest passion is that we would want to see a lot of girls and a lot of women with disabilities being more empowered. We've heard of FDH opening a special type of loan that will be accessed by women. So we hope that we can also be able to provide linkages to the women and girls that we work with to get loans so that they can also flourish.
Yes.
We have heard of other organizations speaking up on behalf of girls and women. We have seen the young professionals bragging differently about their career, about their professional. We wish also our girls and young women with disabilities will find those as role models and maybe be able to reach out to them to become their mentors so that in the long run they are also becoming more empowered from the people that are already empowered. Yeah.
Or young girls with disabilities that are well educated. Is it so? We have some girls that are that were in Chancellor College and some were at Lilongwe University. They were doing their studies, and now the employment, that's the challenge now when it comes to employment. So I think these institutions, when they are bringing up programs of loans and whatever, if you talked about FDH Bank, they should make sure that their programs, they have to be inclusive so that even young women or women with disabilities can really showcase their skills and they can stand independently.
Yeah. Sure. So we have organizations like the one that is providing loans for NIF. I know they are based in the communities, and we also have the girls and young women with disabilities in the communities. We hope that they can also be able to be linked to such organizations, and also the provision of employment to those that have been able to acquire a professional study that they can also be able to achieve from overall world where they can access to get a job, employment. So basically it's about making the opportunities inclusive and making them available to everyone.
Yeah, that reminds me for the theme of this year. It's all about women in leadership, and it's to give opportunities to women to venture into leadership positions. And some of them are already in positions that are giving us examples here. I have Lucy Goma, who is also holding a position, which I don't know if somebody was there. I don't know if CAHESH was here, just to give an example. So what we want is to say my channel is more about sensitization, about disability. That's my first priority, whereby I think, do you have any member that one day my viewers or people out there can see who has maybe you can say this is our role model?
Yeah, several of them. One day we'll invite you and say, Martha, come running. There's someone for you to interview.
All right.
Yes, and talking about leadership for women with disabilities or women without disabilities, I've just seen a press release coming from Malawi Human Rights Commission that they would like to open a database where women with higher qualification, for example, master's degree, should go and register their names so that when there are postings, for example, the ones which are just ordered by, for example, maybe to become a board member of a statutory company or to become a CEO of a statutory company, they will just be picking from such database. How do you look at it?
I think that's a good move. And what we have to do is to say, our viewers, you have heard about this. Venture with us, interact with us. If you have any question, maybe you have something also you want to get in and you want to assist CAHESH, and you would like to even to venture into assisting persons with disabilities on a certain issue, you can really contact us. Give us your contact. You can comment on the comment side, and you can also, if you want to say something or we want my channel to bring a certain content, please comment on the comment line, and don't forget to subscribe to be aware and to be notified about my new videos. I know I'm new, but subscribe that channel. there are more videos that are coming, and you need not to miss those videos. So Lucy, can you just share us on one of the projects that you have particular, maybe it's the Kalen project or maybe Achieved project for CAHESH?
Okay, I'll talk about one of the Achieved projects, which was capacity building for sanitation response in special needs education. So this project was deliberately designed to be implemented in schools. So when I talk about these schools, we're talking about resource centers and those schools that are mainstream, so that means that they have the resource center section, and also they have the normal school section, so that when the young ones learn the skills, the ability, and all, they are enrolled into the mainstream. So what we're doing was to educate about menstrual health management. You know, we all come from different backgrounds, and learners with disabilities, though they come from home, but there's also a different perspective that is at home. So sometimes they are limited to the knowledge of information that they are given because of how they are. Maybe even the parents are not able to discuss with them because they will think they will not understand anything. Or maybe the parents or the surrounding or the relatives think, even if we tell them, it's one and the same thing. So what we were doing was to educate learners, that included boys and girls, about menstrual health management. How does the body change, body anatomy, what happens for the period to come, the products used, how can the products be disposed, and how can you live hygienically as a girl menstruating.
I see you are really doing a wonderful job, but I really wanted to see, do you have to see, or maybe to know more, because if I say the word disability, it's a word that is composed with a lot of impairments.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific disability that you focus, or you go general disability?
So when the organization was just being established, the focus really was on visual impairment persons, because it's coming was brought because of the challenges that was seen, that was in the information dissemination. So the call of it was that's why we have a program called health education through Braille. So that was basically established to fuse in the challenge, or to fuse the gap of information for persons with visual information. So the idea was to develop as many books as the organization can to distribute to those with visual impairment, so that they have the right information, good education about everything surrounding. It could be about malaria, about HIV, about WASH as a whole, or anything else. So that was the whole mentality of that's what brought in the introduction of CAHESH. But moving forward, living in the world where there are several other people with different disabilities, now going to work, we can't choose. We just want a person with visual impairment. We can't choose. So we realized there are several other categories of disabilities, and then all of them are welcome. But what we do now is we have to change the approach and see how can we be able to involve this type of disability to the work that we want to achieve, that kind of disability to what we are doing, and that kind of disability fused or changing it completely to say this is how we know this can go with this.
Oh, so particularly I can say you are experts in terms of visual impairment. So that's what we can say, but you are almost welcome. Any category is almost welcome to become a member of CAHESH. This reminds me of something else I think my subscribers don't miss, because we'll be talking about soon, and there'll be a video that will come about Braille. You know, actually when I was asking, I met a certain young boy who was going to school, and I was asking, do you know Braille paper? He was saying, I don't know, but do you have anyone in your campus who has visual impairment? And he said, yeah, I have a colleague of mine, sits on my arm next door, and what? And I said, and then you don't know a Braille paper? It's a braille paper is something that a visual impaired student or a visual impaired person uses when writing and says, oh, I don't know. But if you ask someone with visual impairment to say, do you know a notebook? You say, yes, I know it. So those are the things that we need to give awareness to people, because some people don't know about braille. Braille is something, it's a paper that is used for visual impaired people that they use when writing. And you know, I was asking a certain day, this one is a teacher. I was saying, do you know Perkins? I don't know. Okay, okay. Then I said, do you know a frame? Said no. Okay.
Do you know a stylus?
A stylus. I said no. Then I said, wow. But she is a teacher, and one day she can easily meet a student who is visually impaired. You see, so how can this teacher assist that learner with visual impairment in terms of the learning materials if she doesn't know? So those are the things that we need to talk in terms of education. Particularly, we are talking of inclusive education, mainstreaming issues into our education sector. But now, the materials for our, you can say our target, our target, they're not available. And these are the things that I think. Can you talk more about it as you were in the project?
Yes. So I think what is really happening, where other teachers would not really know specifically about special needs education, or maybe the resources required and what have you, could be because deliberately the government trained special needs teachers. So they went specifically to colleges to learn, to be trained about special needs. And I think this could be a fueling problem where others would not really know about what else is happening, because those are the point of references. So even if just talking to a learner with disability, you find it will be a problem for other teachers to come into terms to connect with the learner with disability, but they'll ask the specific teacher who is called the specialist teacher to come and talk to the learner. So I think, yes, we really need to do a lot of awareness about it, but maybe what I can advise, as much as the specialist teachers are being trained professionally, separately from the others, but maybe there could just be a subject or a topic just to talk about this in the mainstream of teaching training.
I think that would be another video. It's a long story.
That is a long
story, yes. But now, let's come back to the issue that we are talking on this month, which we started yesterday on 18th March, about women in leadership. Okay, what can you say, what is your say in terms of women with disabilities into leadership? What is, you can say the late or in our country? Okay,
so maybe we should be frank to say of late we are seeing things happening which has not really been happening in the past, but we must be able to be thankful to the little changes that are happening. Though the little changes are not really huge, they are little, but then we can appreciate to say there's something that is happening. But I can acknowledge to say we really need to do more, because there are so many out there. They have good qualifications, they have been to school, they are exposed. Now what we need is to put them in the limelight and say, this is the world. Show us what you have.
What you have, yes. Because we cannot say that women with disabilities are able without even seeing what they're doing. They need to be put in the positions. They need to work, and after they work, we're going to see and observe their skills and what they can do. Because if they go to school, we go to the universities, they have their masters, and they sit home, how can they be recognized? The first thing is their visibility. And I just appreciate the government that is in, because now at the High Commission, we can say the Commission of Malawi now has a woman, Skanda Lewis, who's also she is a she's a commissioner at Human Rights Commission now. She's a commissioner with physical disability, which is giving, like, we can say about what percent can we give because we are still at a far away, because we have a lot of women who are well qualified, they're just sitting there, no employment, not even giving chance to loans, as we said. So we are trying to appeal to the government institutions, different institutions around Malawi, banks. They need to come in, and then if they put position, some vacancies even, they are like they're not accessible to some women with disabilities.
Yes.
If we talk of CAHESH, we can say they're not accessible to visual impairment. What can you say on this? Because we have our Daily Times newspapers, our daily national newspapers, we can say. We are not specifically to say this newspaper, but our national newspapers, all companies that they are under the media platform, they're not giving information into accessible formats.
Yeah.
Particularly newspapers.
Yes.
So they miss out vacancies.
And then they have to depend on someone to tell them. If they don't have that someone to tell them,
There's a
then that
challenge.
means that is lost.
And if they have an assistant like myself or like Lucy, maybe Lucy is also fighting for that position, what will happen? I can skip up that page. I cannot read it. You see? So that's just an example. We
Yes.
cannot do that. We can't do
Yes.
that. But we have a lot of interpreters that maybe they can do that. Their assistants can do that. But still, subscribe my channel, hit that button. This is not my first time to be with Lucy. I will be having a lot of stories with her because I know there are a lot of things inside. You know, wisdom sometimes is we have a lot that we have to discuss. But now today we are here just because of women in leadership and to just know more about their hygiene and sanitation project. Because it was much focusing to women, although they included boys. But now, can we just know catchment area?
Okay, so resources permitting and available would want to implement in the whole country. So we're talking about the 28 districts in the country, because there's no district that we can say there's no person with disability. They are everywhere throughout. We live with them in our homes. We play with them. We even pray with them in our churches. So they're everywhere. So I would like really to reach out to all of them as much as we could. But at the moment we are in a few districts in the country. We're talking about Chihuahua, Palombe, Chiladzulu, Ncheu, Mwanza, Neno, and we have recently just introduced ourselves to Nzuzu, that is in Zimba. Yeah, so basically that's where we are at the moment.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. So what makes someone to become a member to your organization?
So our organization is not a membership organization.
Wow.
It's open,
open.
it's free, but we reach out to them. Yeah, if there's need for them to reach out to us, it's also open.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, if there's a certain group of young people with disabilities and they would like to come to your office to just ask for a joint activity.
No problem. They are welcome.
They are welcome.
They are welcome.
Subscribe my channel, hit that red button. Don't forget, we were here today at CAHESH. If you want all the members, please come, just come here. Location, Lucy.
So we're in Jawira behind Exploits University near Fernando Motors.
Wow, CAHESH. This is how I interacted with Lucy and Koma. I know you have picked some words there. I know you guys, you have learned something today, and I know that you'll be waiting for my next video with CAHESH. Last words,
Yes,
Lucy.
yes, Martha. What I want to say is I would like to encourage parents with children with disabilities to never give up on them.
Never give up parents with children with disabilities.
Send them to school.
Send them to school.
Help them physically. If they
Help
need
them
exercises,
physically.
do not tire.
Yeah.
Help them. Sometimes some challenges our children have can be corrected at a tender age. Sometimes they just need that love for them to feel that they are also perfectly made. So I want to give my encouragement to the parents with children with disabilities to never give up on them.
Never give up. Actually, education starts in the family.
Yes.
Because if the you can say siblings and parents are not taking care of their sibling with disability, it's a big challenge.
It is.
So never give up parents with children with disabilities, or maybe a person with a disability family. Never give up. Disability is not inability. That was the key starting from our discussion. So see you next time. Never forget to subscribe, like my channel. Ta-ta! That's my keyword.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.